Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here again. Time for some new records that I recently got in. These are some reissues that came out and were pre-ordered, and a couple orders from a couple different places came in around the same time. So I got like an overload all of a sudden of some new releases that were new reissues. So I wanted to make sure you're aware of them because these are on smaller pressings, smaller labels, and but it's some great stuff. So if you're not aware, there is a first time on vinyl reissue of the Iced Earth Melancholy EP. Now the Melancholy EP, if you're not familiar with it, it was basically it was an EP that I believe was released kind of as a promo to record labels and stuff. It had, the initial release had 5 songs, which included some cover tunes. And Melancholy, Holy Martyr, is a song that was from the Something Wicked This Way Comes, which came out the year before this. So this was like a 99 promo that had a song or so from that 98 album. In this case, though, they did add a little bit here. They've added some songs. So this is actually a 7-song release now. And it includes, as it says here, it's got 4 original songs plus cover songs from Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and Bad Company. Now, if you picked up, there was a later, like a deluxe type edition of Something Wicked This Way Comes that came out years later. And all of those songs, the cover tunes, were included as bonus tracks on CD. But this would be the first time on vinyl for this EP that's got these extra songs and stuff, including a live track. There is a live track on here for Colors. So anyway, if you're not aware of that, this is it's one of the limited run vinyl. I don't know how many copies. It's on Backbreaker Records, marketed from Century Media. Limited run vinyl, which tends to be, only in a couple hundred, if that much. But yeah, actually, I don't have any Iced Earth on vinyl at all. So this is actually my first piece. I think I have pretty much everything they have digitally in my collection, at least up to a couple years ago. But have not. It's not a band you see a lot of vinyl of in the wild where you can just pick it up. And then, okay, these two are actually related. So Lazarus AD. Now, these actually have been out since 2023. But when I ordered the Iced Earth, which was a pre-order, I ordered these at the same time. I think they were on sale or something. So I went ahead and added them. So I had to wait until that came out before these came out. But these, you may have seen other people show these, have been out, for a few months now. These are on Brutal Planet Records, also limited run vinyl. Thrash band. When did these come out? This album came out, I think, was it 2007-ish. And it's just straight up American thrash. Now this says it's remixed by James Murphy of Testament. So there's a little throw there. They are on colored vinyl. This one's on orange, and I'm got to put a sleeve in there because it's got some static that come out of there. Yeah, so cool stuff. Feels a little thick there. If you're not familiar with that, and if you're into thrashy, U.S. thrash type stuff, then definitely check that out. And at the same time, or shortly around the same time, Black Rivers by the same band, Black Rivers Flow, and these are first time on vinyl. Yeah, both of these are first time on vinyl. This was, I think, the 2011 album. I believe they've only got the 2 albums that I saw on Discog. So these are the only 2 albums by Lazarus AD. Not to be confused, I guess, with Lazarus, which was another version. Also mixed by James Murphy of Testament. So again, if you're not familiar with these, check it out. LimitedRunVinyl.com, I think, would have all these listed, and but they are going to be limited pressings. And this one's on a pretty color, gray and kind of a marbled look. So yeah, silver and black marble. So if you're not familiar with those, and then these two just hit. And you probably are less familiar with this. Randy Rose Sacrificium. So Randy Rose made his debut. He's part of the Rose Brothers. And I've talked about him in the past because he's had some recent albums. This is actually his first solo album. In 1988, him and his brother Roger put out a band called Mad at the World. They had a very synth pop, Depeche Mode sound. At the time, I thought it was kind of quirky, but over time, fell in love with it. They put out 2 albums, one in like, was it 88 and 89 or somewhere around there, that were of that style. Then in like 1990, they changed styles, and Mad at the World became very much like the Cult, kind of an alternative. They lost all the synth pop, became like this full band with real instruments and everything, and put out, it was just a phenomenal album. That's where I discovered him. And then in 91 they put out Boomerang, and that's when his first solo album dropped, was in 91. Now when he steps up to the mic, because his brother does the singing in the other band, most of the singing, he does do singing, I take that back, they both sing, but he sounds so different in Mad at the World a lot of the times in the early years. On this album, very much Danzig, very much that kind of a heavier thing, and just musically, it's a little, it's very Danzig-ish, a little bit sludgy. I loosely use the term doom. It's not. It's just that sometimes it's slow and grungy, and so. But then his vocal stylings on here just come across very much like that Danzig feel. So if you're into that, check it out. He's done quite a few solo albums. This is the first one in 91. It's on like this cool color there. And this is the first time on vinyl. And then his second album, Healing, which was 92, 93, kind of became more of a band. It's just called Rose, and you can see it's got all the 4 guys. Randy himself, I think he plays almost everything, but he was mainly the drummer for most of the bands. And then this album continues in the same vein. He has also, like Mad at the World, tinkered with different sounds, but this one still kind of goes in line with the Sacrificium to a degree, for the most part. And these are the first time these have ever been on vinyl. I'm almost positive. Because yeah, vinyl. So these just came out. Again, these are going to be on the limited run vinyl. These are on Retroactive Records. And so you're going to want to jump on board these before they disappear. This is a red, kind of a red smoky there. So yeah, so there, check it out. Anyway, so if you're into that kind of stuff, and I really very much am. Rose did go on like the next album to become almost more psychedelic, which was similar to what Mad at the World started doing around that time frame. They kind of went into it's hard to describe. What do people call it? Like a jellyfish psychedelic type feel. So love that stuff too. Every era of the bands, as they change stuff, have really fallen in love with, and I'm hoping that they continue and release those quirkier, less metal Rose albums at some point. So there you go. We got a little bit of thrash, we got a little bit of regular metal, and then we got some heavy stuff there too. So check it out. Jump on board, grab them before they're gone, limited run, and I'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.